Welcome to the Force Always. My name is Diz, aka David Zammit. Let's get on with the show with the news, the views, the reviews, and interviews. What's making news? Well, Avengers Doomsday trailer has dropped today, and I'll be giving you a review of that from just a Star Wars kid point of view, just a Star Wars kid point of view later on the show in the reviews section. Making more news, and I've got to bring this up to make sure that so the Mandalorian and Grogu is coming home, either physical media or whatever you like. I mean, this, the physical media pack looks absolutely magnificent. It's just, even if you thought the film was, pretty average or okay, this package looks amazing. Check it out. But it comes to digital platforms, and it will be available on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, and Fandango from July 21. Technically, it's July 21 here in Australia right now, but I would say that's America. But anyway, that is pretty much the news for this time around. Let's get into the views. Views is my viewpoint or opinion, or even my view, idea in a story. So this is more connected to a story because we've just got the Avengers trailer dropped online. Doomsday, that's Avengers Doomsday, which is the big film to look forward to if you're a Marvel or comic book fan. I'm not so big time. I do love it, but I'm not really ingrained in it. What can Star Wars learn from this trailer or the trailers? Personally, I think it's sort of a good marketing ploy that they had a lot of leaked trailers in the beginning, about 4 or 5 months ago, from each individual sort of character. It sort of gives it a real edge sort of feel with their marketing. But I think that Star Wars can learn to not leak their stuff, especially in the way that it is perceived at the moment. I think you need to sort of really get that impact of whatever they're going to do with Starfighter, which is coming out in 2027, in a really good, clean, powerful form, rather than leaked trailers or images. I think it would just not make it so exciting. I think, they really need to keep it concealed and release it online. If it does leak out, they need to really release it really quick, because people need to feel the impact visually and audibly when they get this Starfighter movie coming out in 2027. It should be here in less than a month. D23 is around the corner. That's a big Disney Con event, which they're having a Star Wars panel there. It's predicted it's going to be about that time in August. But whilst that is all happening, this weekend we've got Comic-Con that's in San Diego, so it's all the comic book sort of things. There'll be a little bit of a Star Wars presence there, but not massive. I think it's all going to be about the Avengers trailer that's dropped and the movie that's coming out. Anyway, so what can Star Wars learn is don't release trailers leaked. If they do, really release the proper version straight away. Anyway, that is my views for this time. Let's get into the reviews. Reviews is going to be Avengers Doomsday trailer that has just dropped. It was sort of seen about a couple of months ago at a convention called CinemaCon, which is in Las Vegas, which is something I would love to attend to. But what do I think? I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10 straight off the bat. I thought it was a very great, heroic, muscled up sort of trailer. It had the sounds, it had the visuals, but there was nothing that was unique in it to me that grabbed me and said, whoa, look at this, check this out. It was a standard epic trailer that it just didn't have a unique thing. Like, I'm waiting for this trailer to drop for a long time, just to really sort of see and get a sense of what's going on. It just wasn't powerful with a uniqueness about it. I did like how they sort of visualized Doom in it. That's Dr. Doom, the evil character. I think it was he was hidden to a point which is good. I didn't like the wording in this trailer. Something's coming. Something. It's like a little thing. Something. It's. It would have been better if it was "It's coming" or something like that. A bit more big in size, because obviously Doctor Doom is going to be very powerful in an evil way. But it was. Look, it is good, but it's just was not great. But it's still 7.5 out of 10 is very good. And that's my review for the particular trailer coming from a Star Wars kid, just like myself. Anyway, so now let's get into interviews. Interviews is usually the last questions I have on my last particular YouTube video, which was only about a day or so ago. Let's get right into that. So let me find those questions. Okay, so we got, yeah. So before I start, subscribe to the channel, The Force Always. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week with Star Wars news, views, reviews, and interviews. Doesn't have to be always Star Wars news. It can be a reflection from a kid like myself who loves Star Wars. But it's pretty much Star Wars, as you can tell in the background. So our comments section, first one is from Michael from Werribee South. Can you believe it? Why don't we see many yellow lightsabers in High Republic? Well, I'm not really big on the High Republic. I'm not really into the older sort of style of Star Wars. It is good, but, I just think Star Wars is used future to describe it at best, in a basic way of describing it, story feel, a used future, as the maker, George Lucas, had once stated in his look to Star Wars. But yeah, we don't see many yellow lightsabers because I'm going to put it down to popularity. But I think at the moment we just don't have a lot of stuff in High Republic besides sort of animation type stuff or books. Anyway, that's the answer to that question. The next comment was from a Vincent Puccio 3689. Vincent Puccio, I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I've pronounced it wrong, but anyway, that's his name. And he's written, has anyone done a Death of the Jedi younglings or conception of Luke and Leia? And that's funny, I did check up on this, and there is a Death of the Jedi younglings fan film online. It's pretty rank in its voice interpretation of Luke. He sort of, there's one particular video, he comes back to the temple, I think on Coruscant, and the younglings are a ghostly form. It's just a little bit cringeworthy, but there is that you can check out. But there is nothing on the conception of Luke and Leia, only just sort of flashbacks to the Revenge of the Sith when they were actually born in episode 3. That's all you can really find. The next and final question from Michael from Werribee South is, does Star Wars only really have 3 good movies? Look, in my opinion, every movie has a good and bad side to it. Every single one of them, including everyone's least favourites, a lot of Star Wars fans' least favourites, which is The Last Jedi Episode 8 and Rise of Skywalker Episode 9, which I like them more than most Star Wars fans, surprisingly enough. But I personally don't think there's 3 great movies. Look, the original trilogy is a great trilogy, and it is hard to sort of not re-watch those ones. They're definitely, in my opinion, the most re-watchable ones. I think Revenge of the Sith is also very re-watchable, but that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's the show for this time around. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week. Subscribe to the channel, The Force Always. And until next time, my friends, keep rocking.